Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. My name is Nohanis binti Aziz, matric number 2618855. I'll be present my final year project entitled The Effectiveness of Online Classes Towards the Grade of University Student. This is my presentation outline. For introduction, what is meant by online classes? Online classes has been a norm in these 2 years as the pandemic COVID-19 exists and the changing the tradition of classes where the student and lecturer are not physically present in the traditional classroom environment. Teaching is being disseminated by using software such as Webex Meeting, Zoom, and other video conference, which also include the virtual assessment. Problem statement. Today, newest and most common form of distance education is online classes, and the trend is expected to continue. However, there are several obstacles. University students are not very familiar with this method of online classes, and this will be the issue in order to adapt with this atmosphere. All students have their own perception in adapting with online classes. During the online classes, university students also experience several obstacles that happen which bring effect to their performance and grades. Next is research objective. The objective of the study is first, to determine whether the online classes improve the understanding in the subject among the university students. Second one is to determine the obstacle occur during online classes among university students. Third, to determine whether the platform of online classes is easy to access among university students. And the last one is to determine whether online classes improve the performance among university students. For significance of the study, there are some potential benefits that can be gained by students after completion of this study, which university students will have more knowledge about the online classes and its advantages and disadvantages. The student also can get information on how they can improve their grades in online classes. This is because they can gain knowledge and how to students that get the good grades in online classes perform in their study. According to the research objective, this research is expected to determine whether the online classes improve the understanding in the subject among the university students. Next, we go to literature review. From previous literature, student satisfaction with online classes is higher than in traditional classes. It is also highlight about 4 factors that contribute to the effectiveness online classes, which is accessibility, information and knowledge, locus of control, and learning style. Let me explain one by one of all these factors. Accessibility cover the up-to-date laptop, new software, speaker, a CD-ROM, and a reliable and affordable internet connection. Information and knowledge is the knowledge students have in managing the online classes on how to control the online medium. Locus of control is the way a person attributes his or her own or others' action to the success or failure of their undertaking. And lastly, learning style. It is referred to a person's preferred method of absorbing, processing, comprehending, and remembering knowledge. In doing some research, I have constructed this framework which is include the IV and DV. Next part is methodology. The first one is research design. This study are conducted to examine how the online classes contribute to the grade of university students and also highlight about the factor that influence the grade using the quantitative method. The participant was chosen from a list of possible sample frame which is targeted from public university students in Malaysia who experience the online classes. For data collection, university students as a respondent will take place in this collection. Next, the data will be collected using standardized question. It was undertaken via an online survey and will be analyzed using SPSS software. Next part is analysis. For demographic, A total of 130 people or students has took part in this study, with all of them filling out a questionnaire online via apps such as WhatsApp and Telegram. There are more female students than male who took part in this survey, and also from semester 7, aged between 22 to 25, and Malay students become the majority in this survey. Majority of the students prefer online classes, and also most of them did not have internet connection problem. For independent variable, it is cover the four things as I mentioned earlier. For accessibility question, there are majority of the student choose agree. For information and knowledge question, most of the student also choose agree. It is also the same with question in locus of control and learning style question. For dependent variable, there are 3 questions majority of the student choose to answer strongly agree, and 2 more questions are answered agree. I decide to use multiple regression analysis. The first one is model summary. As we can see, R value is 0.831. It shows that there are strong correlation between the independent variable and dependent variable. From adjusted R square, the variable is 65% related with the dependent variable. Therefore, as many as 35% are influenced by external factor. Based on the coefficient table, among these 4 independent variables predicted to the effectiveness of online classes toward the grade of the university student, learning style have the most influence toward dependent variable with 30.8% compared to accessibility with negative 3.5%, information and knowledge 16.0%, and locus of control with 14.4%. The last analysis is scale of measurement. According to the reliability statistic table, the independent variable record a good reliability with crowd-bed alpha of 0.953. Next, we go to conclusion. The major finding for this research is most of the students agree that online classes is effective and improve their grades. Learning style are the main contributor in this effectiveness as it account the highest amount. For recommendation for future studies, before distributing the other questionnaire on the effectiveness of online classes, the future researcher could try to conduct a survey of respondents who have internet connection problem. Next, future researcher can move the studies focus to a rural area rather than a central area. Perhaps it will arrive at a different conclusion. Lastly, to conclude, it is intended that this study has provided a clearer understanding of the success of online classes. It is hoped that the current study would provide a clear evidence of student satisfaction in online classes and how online classes improve grades. That's all from me. Thank you for your time.